moments, we have the battle for the FIBA Asia Cup 2025 crown. Earlier, Iran defeated New Zealand to take third place, and now we have Australia versus China, the two teams standing with undefeated records and one championship on the line. So the stage is set in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. The players are taking the court, about to jump for the first possession of the game. So thank you for joining me today here online. We are definitely in for a good game. And this is just a chat party. So if you're looking to catch the game live and you're here in the Philippines, you could catch your local broadcast on Filipinas Live, One Sports, One Sports Plus. But if you're joining us from elsewhere, you could go to FIBA.basketball, go to the game center, and it'll show you all the local networks where you could watch. So the game has already started. Australia already with 3 points on the board to China's two, and I definitely can expect this to be a fast-paced game. Both of these squads really strong. They swept their group phases. Of course, Australia with a little bit of the edge here today. Actually, since joining the FIBA Asia Cup in 2017, Australia has never lost a game. So I think China could be a good contender to end their perfect streak. And checking the game predictor on FIBA.com, actually, Australia is still highly favored at 76%. The fans voted, but I want to know who you guys think is going to win today. Again, this is the chat party, so join me, drop your comments below, and let's talk some basketball. I already see some China fans chatting it up. Some of the X factors I think here in this game could be the rebounding. Both of these teams have the size, have the depth, most definitely. And I'm very interested to see also who will outscore, because both of these teams are top two in this tournament so far in scoring. So it's going to come down to the defensive end, honestly. And one of the matchups I'm so excited to watch today is Jalen Galloway and Rui from China. And Rui actually winning the MVP FIBA Asia vote right now. He's at number one. And Rui already with a hot start here in this game today. Quite a few fouls drawn so far. But that is one player, Xavier Cooks, hitting a 2-point floating jump shot. Xavier Cooks has been dominant here in this tournament for Australia. Now, China has been ranked number 4 in the FIBA power rankings, but the way they've been playing all tournament long, you wouldn't be able to tell. And actually, I've been so impressed with this team because only 3 players are equipped with prior Asia Cup experience. The other 9 are very new to this team, but like I said, the way these players have been playing, you wouldn't be able to tell. And who draws the offensive foul? A little too aggressive there. And so that will count as a turnover. One thing China will need to do is contain their turnovers. We know Australia to be very aggressive, and they are willing to and able to capitalize on other teams' mistakes. We've seen it all tournament long. But Australia there turning over the ball. So China playing good defense, which they will need to up their intensity. Wang, nice turnaround jumper. It's crazy to see someone with that size, Wang standing at 6'9", with the ability to be so mobile. A few fans from the Philippines tuned in, even though the Philippines got knocked out by Australia, still supporting the FIBA Asia Cup here. Always nice to see good basketball, and this is one of the best games we'll see all tournament long. Again, both of these teams undefeated here in the FIBA Asia Cup 2025. So one team will be walking away will be dealt their first loss today. Shout out to Malik. Thank you for tuning in. We have Mark tuned in supporting Australia. The score is currently 9-8 in favor of Australia. Again, for those of you who do not know, actually China is the most decorated team in tournament history. They have won 16 titles, but it has been a while since their last title, so they are back on the championship stage for the first time since 2015. So this could be a good time for them to get back on the championship stage and win the FIBA Asia Cup. Quite a few fouls. A very aggressive game here today. Both of these teams won it. You could feel their hunger out on that court. What do you guys think is going to be the X factors here in this game? How can China come up with this dub and upset Australia, who is largely favored to come away with this win? If Australia wins today, it will be their third time that they're looking for the third three-peat here. Ruizao coming up. And I'm really excited to see Hu. He has been doing it all for China. He leads the team in efficiency, points, rebounds. And if he could have another great showing here tonight, China could be contenders, as they're keeping this one really, really tight. Australia falling behind by 1 point. Score is currently 10-11 in favor of China. China doing a great job at controlling the boards. Having 3 boards to Australia's 1. Another thing China's doing really well, getting to the free throw line. They have already shot 4 free throws early in this game. Now, these two teams have met only once before at the FIBA Asia Cup, and that was back in 2017, the quarterfinals, where Australia won convincingly. So we'll see here today how close this game is. Chang with the defensive rebound. Again, China doing really well at controlling the boards, but Harry Wessels also with a rebound. I have a prediction that whoever controls the boards this game is probably going to come up with this win, but we'll see. Shout out to Gary C supporting Australia. On the side of Australia, I'm waiting for Jalen Galloway to explode. He's been a leader and an anchor for this Australian team, leading in efficiency points. And I've mentioned it before, he's a two-way player as well. So not only can he score, he gets back on defense. But a foul's called on Harry Wessels there, able to draw that foul. So far, very, very physical game. I'd expect nothing less from a championship game. Currently tied at 13 apiece. Some subs coming in. Ben Hinshaw has been subbed in for Australia. And then Yu will come in for China as well. And both of these teams have really good depth. They're able to sub in their players, and whoever comes in from the bench provides good minutes, which is crucial in this game today. Again, it's been a long tournament, so the endurance is going to play a huge factor here. So the bench is going to be really, really crucial here for both of these squads. Ben Henshaw with a defensive rebound. And earlier, Jalen Galloway getting his first points from the free throw line. Could be very dangerous if he gets hot here in this game today. Australia is playing really good defense, making it hard for China to get up a shot. China has really great perimeter shooters, so they need to get a hand in their face, which they've done a great job at so far. A lot of movement on the end of China. Again, Australia making it very difficult for them to score and penetrate on the inside, but a nice dump on the inside, but China coming up short. That was a dump pass to Yu, one of the taller players of this China squad. Actually, Yu, the tallest player, excuse me. He's standing at 7 feet and 3 inches. And that's gotta be hard to guard on the inside. So I'm sure they're gonna be looking for that high-low to go into Yu a lot more here in this game. And Australia has been known to be whistle prone this tournament. They are one of the teams with the highest number of fouls. So a place where China can capitalize on. Yu heads to the line to shoot 2 free throws. Again, that's one of those fouls we were talking about. I think Yu might be one of the top scorers here in this game today if he could dominate in that paint. Just 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. China up only by 1 point, tightly contested first quarter. And this is something Australia is not used to. They've been blowing out their opponents by double digits easily. So China making sure Australia does not get a lead at all, because it's a lot harder to play catch up than it is to keep the lead. And China knows they want to keep this tightly contested, or else it's going to be hard to come back. So Australia is going to call a timeout, now down by 4 points here in this game today. China dominating in rebounds, 9-6. China also doing a great job, as I mentioned earlier, heading to the line. They are 5 of 6 right now. So some adjustments need to be made from Australia, again in unfamiliar territory, but a lot of game left to be played here. If you are just tuning in, again, this is just a chat party. You could find this game live on your local broadcast if you're here in the Philippines at Filipinas Live, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. However, if you are elsewhere, you could go to FIBA.basketball, go to the game center, and it will show you your local networks where you can watch. June Samante doesn't think China can do it, but right now, China proving otherwise. Score is 20-14. Great start for China here. Australia struggling to hit some shots from the outside. And another foul drawn. That foul was called on Will Magai. So who will head to the line to shoot 2 free throws? And just for a team comparison here to set the stage, Australia has been averaging about 95 points and China has been averaging 92. So again, both of these teams, high scorers. So it might come down to defense. China applying a bit of full court press, trying to get Australia tired early in this game. China doing a great job at dribbling, trying to kick it out, but Australia forcing a turnover there. And Jalen Galloway knocks in a 3-point shot from that outside left wing. That's one thing Australia is great at. Off of those fast break points, fast breaks lead to easy points for this squad. The score is now 22-17 with only 1 minute and 24 seconds left in this first quarter. So far, our game leaders, Hu with 10 points on the side of China, and William Hickey with just 4 points. Xavier Cooks with 4 points for Australia. And China playing with some heart here today. You could tell how badly they want it. They want to end Australia's winning streak. Australia has been flawless in this tournament since 2017. Has yet to lose a game. And where China is excelling right now is from the line. However, coming up short on that free throw is Liao. And Australia just struggling from the outside and in as well. Excellent drive from Hu, drawing yet another foul. Xavier Cooks was tightly contesting him. But you know, when you're so quick, it's hard to guard. So Hu used his speed. Great basketball IQ there, going up against the taller Cooks. Hu draining those free throws. Score now 25-17, just 4.7 seconds left. Let's see if Australia can do something. Launches a three from half court, but comes up short. And that is the end of this first quarter. China doing an excellent job, coming out strong, 25-17. Let's see the game leaders in efficiency right now. William Hickey with 4 at an efficiency of 4, and Hu with an efficiency of 12. But what I'm interested to see is the rebounding category, both Wang and Wessels at 3 apiece. And again, the difference in this game so far has been free throws. China has went to the line 12 times so far, and you could credit that to the physicality of China. They know how strong Australia is, and they're not being pushed around. I see some comments in the chat. Australia had many mistakes, unexpected. And I'm surprised with that as well. We've seen Australia be very disciplined this tournament. It's rare we see them fall behind. But again, the physicality of China. They came out knowing they are the underdogs here today in this tournament, or in this game, this championship game. So far on the end of China, Hu with 13 points, shooting at 62% from the field. He shot 62% against New Zealand, and he's doing it again today. Another great showing from him. And the second quarter is underway. Let's see what adjustments Australia has made. Already off gate being aggressive, drawing a foul. White driving to the basket. And here in this game, we've already had 10 lead changes. China has led by as much as 8 points. So Australia wants to do their best to get back to close this lead quickly. Again, if you're just joining us, this is the chat party presented by Smart. If you're looking for a live stream, if you're local here in the Philippines, you could go to Filipinas Live, One Sports, or One Sports Plus. And if you're on social media, use the hashtag AsiaCup and chat with us here in the comment section as well. Huge dunk here for China. Momentum definitely in their favor. Great rebound, pushing that ball. China running lanes with a purpose. And who just massive slam right there. Great way to reward the big man for running. And who way to get out and run. When you're a big man like that, oftentimes you don't run down the court, run the lanes, but that just shows the discipline and the heart China has. Shout out to Maverick Cruz. Yes, I am the sister of Chris Newsom from the Philippines. As sad the Philippines got knocked out the other day, but Australia played a great game, outstanding. Again, Australia, one of the top teams with a 17-0 record here in this tournament so far. Flawless record since they joined the FIBA AsiaCup in 2017. Seji saying she's not a China fan, but supporting them today with the way they're playing right now. I'm sure a lot of supporters. Momentum definitely on the side of China, now leading 31-19. I don't think anyone expected this heading into this game today. I definitely didn't, but a lot of games still left to be played. Great dunk by Cooks. Much needed. Xavier Cooks could be the X factor today. And I want to hear from you guys. Who do you think the X factor for both teams need to be, whoever you're rooting for? Cook stepping it up here today, here in this second quarter. Whew. China draining a 3-point shot. Just when Australia going on a run. China showing they're not backing down. China forcing a turnover. Down in the paint is Wang. Nice turnaround jumper. That's tough. McVeigh showing he's got a turnaround jumper too. Both teams going back and forth. Good offensive possessions. Taking care of the ball. China being very patient, swinging it around, looking for their best shot. Zhao. And Hu trying to be strong on the inside to draw another foul. But great defense by Xavier Cooks, drawing the offensive foul. Xavier Cooks has been one of the lone bright spots for Australia here in this second quarter. Score now 23-36 with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the second quarter. William Hickey driving to the basket, easy two-pointer, asking for a foul there, but none was called. A lot of people rooting for China in the chat. Shout out to Seiji Amasawa. Another foul called on Australia. Let's see how many fouls they have. That is their 9th foul here in the game today. And that is how China has been able to get 12 easy points at the line. They've been to the line 14 times already. Liao knocking down those 2 free throws. Let's see what Australia can come up with here on this possession. Still down 25-38. See what Australia does. 13 seconds left on the shot clock. Henshaw launching a 3-point shot as the shot clock was winding down. Comes up with a miss. But Jack McVeigh able to capitalize off of the second chance points. That's where Australia dominates those rebounds, gaining them second chances. But China on this possession coming up with a second chance off of the rebound of Hu. Ooh, a lot of physicality there. McVeigh trying to lob it to Magai, but is fouled hard. That was a good look. Anshul wondering what is going on with all of these fouls. In very physical game. Australia at 9 fouls. China currently at 9 as well. I don't know why with the momentum it seems like Australia has a lot more fouls. Rui Zhao coming up with a 3-point shot, a miss. And those fast break points, again, Australia has been in Australia's favor. Jack White, an easy 2-point under the basket off of that fast break. That has been one of the bright spots of Australia, getting the ball and going before China's able to set up their defense. So that forces China to call a timeout. China currently winning 40-30. Australia has been able to close this lead to just 10 points after being down as much as 15 here in this game today. Jinkyu Hu leading China with 12 points. And one thing China is doing an excellent job at is if they're not open on that perimeter, they're getting it to their post players, their bigs down below. Not backing down from the challenge. Excellent use of a ball screen. Off the ball screen, Liao driving to the basket. But Australia with good defense there, forcing a turnover. The possession will go back to Australia. Australia playing a drive and kick game now themselves, looking for perimeter shots. And Australia been able to get good looks from the outside. However, they are shooting at only 30% from the 3-point range. They are 3 of 10. China not shooting well. Also, 2 of 7 from the 3-point range. So a lot of the scoring has been coming from inside that paint or for China from free throws. Great block from Magai. It's tough. Magai driving against the 7-footer Yu of China, getting 2 points. Some fans recognizing in the chat also China is capitalizing off of free throws. Shout out to Abraham Shikoni. Welcome to Rookie. Thank you for tuning in to the FIBA Asia chat party. Xavier Cooks again scoring. Xavier Cooks has just been a spark for Australia, now at 8 points. And William Hickey, very upset, called for a foul. Cheng was going up for the reverse layup. But Xavier Cooks has been crucial for Australia. And let's hope his energy is infectious if you're an Australian fan. Because Xavier Cooks has been all over the place, both on the defensive end and offensively. Rare miss for China at the line. Australia now with possession again. And to no surprise, Australia trying to go to Xavier Cook. Australia now 4 of 11 from the 3-point line. They're starting to get hot. Now only down by 1 point. Just 1 minute left here in the second quarter. Hu ending the dry spell for China, hitting a 3-point shot. Australia has been winning this quarter, scoring 22 to China's 18, but still trying to come up from behind after the deficit they had in the first quarter. But China can't get laxed here. We know how strong Australia is and has been all tournament long, and in fact since 2017. And one thing that might play a factor here in this game today, China is a relatively young team as far as experience. Only 3 of their players have played in the Asia Cup before. The other 9 on this roster are new to this experience. So quite impressive the way they've been playing in this tournament. I would have never guessed that only 3 players have played in the Asia Cup before. Again, you could tune in to the local broadcast if you're here in the Philippines on Filipinas Live, One Sports and One Sports Plus. Just 20 seconds left here in the second quarter. Hu with another 3-point shot, trying to end this half with the momentum in their favor. Xavier Cooks driving to the basket, 2-point shot, and will head to the line to shoot the extra free throw as he was fouled. We could see how badly Xavier Cooks wants to remain with an unbeaten record. Been the main scorer here in this game for Australia. Wang launches a 3-point shot, comes up short, and that will do it for the first half, where China leads 46-42. Taking a look at some of the stats of the half, what stands out to me is those free throws. I've been saying it all half long. China has scored 12 points at the line. China also dominating slightly in the rebounds, 21-17. But taking a look at those 3 points, both teams struggling from the 3-point line. So in the second half, whichever team can heat up from the 3-point range can swing that momentum into their favor. Australia in that first half shooting at 48% from the field, so not bad at all. However, only 36% from the three, which is below their average actually for this tournament. Australia usually averaging much higher than that. And then on the side of China shooting at 48% from the field and only 37% from 3-point range. Leading China in scoring is Hu with 12 points. He actually has 2 of China's 3-point shots. And then also Wang with 9 points. And Jinkyu Hu with 12 points for China. Those are the top scorers. On the side of Australia, we have Xavier Cooks with 12 points. No surprise there. Xavier has been carrying this team on his back, especially in that second quarter. Jalen Galloway, a little quiet for his average numbers, but 7 points. But he is shooting at 50% from that 3-point range. So I expect him to take a lot more 3-point shots in the second half. And I think some of the X factors here in the second half will be Jalen Galloway for Australia and Rui Zhao for China. Both of these players are perimeter threats, and they both actually average over 2 3-pointers per game. And whichever star can step it up here in the second half, start getting their shots to fall, I think this duel could tilt the momentum for their side. And then another X factor will definitely be the bigs. China matches up well in terms of size and depth with the boomers. So Hu, Jinkyu, and Wang will be very crucial in this second half. If they can hold their ground, China's title hopes will grow. So again, if you are just now tuning in, welcome to the chat party presented by Smart. If you're looking for the live stream, this is just the chat party. You could tune in if you're here in the Philippines at Filipinas Live, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. But if you are elsewhere, go to FIBA.basketball, go to the Game Center, and it will show you the local networks. If you missed it earlier today, Iran defeated New Zealand to take third place. It was an intense matchup, an intense battle for third. Iran held off a close late charge from New Zealand to secure a 79-73 win. And I think New Zealand were the favorites to win that game. But Iran played beautifully. Kazim was the player of the game. He had a huge double-double with 16 points and 16 rebounds. So congrats to Iran for their third place finish. Right now, the match at hand is Australia versus China, battling out for the championship. And if you're tuned in, again, this is a chat party, so I want to hear from you guys. Who do you think is going to be taking the chip tonight? I know we have a lot of fans for China here in the chat. Australia fans been kind of quiet. I'm not sure if it's because they're down, they're losing, but they're just down by 4 points. A lot of game to be played. Also, send in the chat who's your MVP favorite. You could also vote on the FIBA website. Who do you think will win the MVP of the FIBA AsiaCup 2025? Right now, Zhao Rui is at number 1 with over 5,000 votes. We also have Hu Jinkyu from China at number 3 with 1,500 votes. We also have Wang Junji from China at number 4. So 3 players from China in the top 5 of the MVP race fan votes. If you're just now joining us, the first quarter was much dominated by China. They outscored Australia 25-17. However, in that second quarter, Australia was able to turn things around, outscoring China 25-21. However, they are still down in this game, much due to their fouls. Heading into this second half, Australia needs to play clean defense because China has been capitalizing on their fouls. And on the end of China, they need to continue to play good defense, making it hard for Australia to get hot from the 3-point range. And also, if you're China, you want to continue to be physical. That is the thing I am most impressed with here in this match today. China's physicality, not backing down from Australia, who are the favorites, who are favored to win this game today. For those asking, you can catch the game live at Filipinas Live, One Sports, or One Sports Plus if you're watching here in the Philippines. But if you are elsewhere, you could find the live at FIBA.basketball, go to your game center, and it will show you your local networks and where you could watch. Again, I see a few people asking. I am the sister of Chris Newsom of Gilas Filipinas. I'm not sure if you could tell because of my last name or we look alike. So the players are taking the court. The third quarter is about to go underway. What are your predictions for this second half? Will Australia come back hungry after being down for much of the first half, or will China keep playing physical and keep the score in their favor? Again, I think the X factor here in the second half could be Jalen Galloway. He had 8 points there in the first. But Xavier Cooks has been the lone bright star for Australia, especially in the second quarter. Heading into this game, the game predictor on FIBABasketball.com, Australia is favored to win at 76%, but China proving the doubters wrong so far, as they have led for much of this game. China's biggest lead has been 15. And actually, Australia has only led for 3 minutes in total here in this game today, but they're trailing by only 4 points. Shout out to Anshul for watching, saying China needs to stop Xavier Cooks. And then he thinks China can come up the winner. And I agree. Xavier Cooks has been the main scorer for Australia. So if China is able to stop Xavier Cooks, as long as no one else steps up, China can come away with this championship. Xavier Cooks had 15 points there in the first half. Jalen Galloway with 7 points. And Jack McVeigh, 7 points as well. So only one player in double digits for Australia. On the side of China, 2 players in double digits. Jin Kyu Hu with 12 points, who is actually perfect from the field. 5 of 5, shooting 100%. And the other player in double digits for China is Hu with 15 points. Both Hus from China out of an efficiency of 17. And that has been big. As we're getting ready to start this second half, I'd like to welcome you to the chat party presented by Smart. If you're just tuning in, my name is Melissa Newsom, and in just moments, the second half of the FIBA Asia Cup 2025 championship will be underway. This is just a chat party, so if you're looking to catch the game live and you're here in the Philippines, tune into your local broadcast. It is airing at Filipinas Live, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. But if you're joining us from elsewhere, you could go to FIBA.basketball, go to the Game Center, and it will show all your local networks where you can tune in. But again, don't just watch, stay here and chat with me. I want to know your takes. Who do you think will be the FIBA Asia Cup 2025 champions? And the second half is now underway. China with possession. Let's see if China could keep the same intensity they had in the first quarter, but China with an early turnover. Chang losing it on the dribble against the good defense of Australia, and Jalen Galloway on the fast break getting fouled and is now at the line. Downs his first free throw. And early fouls for China. I mentioned that fouls could be crucial here in this game today. Free throws are easy points for either of these teams. Both of these teams, great free throw shooters. After Galloway making both of his 2 free throws, China now with possession again. China trying to do a pick and roll action, getting looks from the inside, but Australia seems to have upped their intensity on the defensive end. Another set of early free throws, this time for the side of China. It'll be Jinkyu Hu shooting 2. Makes the first. And goes perfect from the line. The score is now 48-44. Australia with possession. Australia trying to feed it down into the paint. Great defense from China, putting up a wall, making it difficult. Xavier Cooks having to throw up a shot as the shot clock was winding down. Again, both of these teams excellent on offense all tournament long. So defense might be the thing to win one of these teams a championship. But another foul, this time on Foxwell of Australia. That will send Rui Zhao to the line to shoot 2 free throws. Rui Zhao quite quiet here in this game today. 3 points. But excuse me, that was Chang shooting those free throws. Chang goes 2 of 2 from the line. Now possession with Australia. McVeigh, easy 2-point shot there. China's gonna have to play better defense. Can't give them easy buckets. Wang coming up short on the 3-point shot. Great handoff from McGay to Jalen Galloway. I mentioned it at the latter end of the second quarter that Jalen Galloway's starting to find his rhythm from the 3-point line. China missed shot. Australia trying to push the ball. They have been thriving off of fast-paced basketball. Owen Foxwell, 2-point shot there. Australia now leading by 1 point. And Australia looks like a different team here in the second half. And a monster jam from Jalen Galloway. How the momentum has shifted. Off of the fast break. Nice assist from Foxwell, rewarding the Jalen Galloway for running. Australia now in the lead, 53-50. And just how quickly things have turned. We're 4 minutes in to this third quarter, into the second half, and Australia has already regained the lead. China with a much needed timeout. We could see coach definitely frustrated with his players. If you're China, that's not the way you wanted to start that second half. Jalen Galloway ended the first half at 7 points, now with 14. Shooting 60% from the 3-point range. He is 3 of 5. And Australia has only made 5 3-point shots here in this game today. And Jalen Galloway with 3 of those 3-pointers. So I mentioned earlier, if China can shut down Xavier Cooks, they could keep the lead. But they also need to find a way to stop Jalen Galloway. And I'm wondering if this is where China's inexperience will play a factor. Again, only 3 players have experience in the Asia Cup for China. The other 9 are new to this, so I wonder if that experience will be a factor come in game here in this game today. But Foxwell, quite a bailout foul. Just 6 seconds were remaining on the shot clock. And Foxwell will take a seat. Xavier Cooks will check in. And at the line shooting will be Rui Zhao. And I believe he'll shoot 3 free throws if he was fouled on the 3-point line. So far, 2 of 2, shooting his 3rd free throw, and goes perfect from the line. Now ties the game at 53. Much needed points for China, because again, you do not want to fall too far behind, because once Australia gains momentum, it is so hard to catch up. Huge 3-point shot there from Chang. Both teams battling for the boards. Australia, a few shot attempts. Xavier Cooks coming up with that rebound, but fouled as he was trying to secure it. But going back to that previous possession, that was a huge shot from Chang. It's crucial that China scores on every possession just to keep the momentum even, because once a team goes on a run, that could be all the difference in the game in terms of energy, momentum. And we've already seen how quickly things can shift. Australia came out and changed the game within the first 4 minutes of this second half. Australia now inbounding. Jalen Galloway swings the ball. Shot clock winding down. Tough shot from Hickey, but fails to convert. So now China with possession. Excellent job there from China. They had tried to go into the post, but 3 bodies were on Hu working his way, saw the wall put up by Australia, kicked it back out to Lee, who was wide open on that 3-point shot. Lee knocking it down. And if you're just now tuning in, what a game for you to catch. This is the championship game of the FIBA AsiaCup 2025. So the winner of this game will be crowned the champs. And Australia, since joining the FIBA AsiaCup in 2017, has never lost a game. So they're bringing their flawless 17-0 record into this final. But if you're China, you're trying to be the ones to finally defeat the dominating Australia. For Coach Gao of China, he said this is a chance to reclaim their place atop Asian basketball. Both of these teams have been dominating all tournament long. They have been the 2 basketball powerhouses, both undefeated, but now colliding here in the FIBA AsiaCup 2025 championship. And we resume play in the 3rd quarter. On the first possession, Hickey driving to the basket, but coming up limping. He seems to be injured. But Hickey at the line, gonna shoot 2 free throws. I think he might have tweaked his ankle whenever he was fouled there. But just a tweak, he's walking on it fine. Downs both free throws, tying the game. China now with possession. Not a bad 3-point shot from Hu, but coming up short. And Australia, again, those transition offense. The fast break points for Australia has been difficult for China to stop. China having a hard time getting back on defense, and great basketball IQ from Australia and from Hickey on that last possession, just driving it, recognizing that China was not yet set up on the defensive end. Jalen Galloway missed 3-point shot attempt. A miss for Rui Zhao on the other end, 3-point attempt as well. Both teams throwing up 3-point shots, trying to get something to fall for them. Tied at 59. And a foul was called on Shang. Australia with the ball. Another offensive board from Australia. Three offensive boards from Australia on that possession. Coming up short, China now with the ball. That could be dangerous for China. Australia now 25 and 25 on rebounds. And that was China's edge in the first half. China led in rebounds, but now at 25 apiece. It's going to be a battle of the boards. Yu at the line, shooting 2 free throws after he was fouled. Just 3 minutes left here in this third quarter. And if you are just now tuning in, again, this is just the chat party. If you want to catch the game live, you could tune into one of your local broadcasts. Just go to FIBA.com and it will show you where you could watch on your local networks. But a defensive lapse from China. Australia easily capitalizing on that. Another fast break points. Australia came into the second half with a different intensity, a different energy. And Jalen Galloway frustrated there, fouling with just 0.1 seconds left on the shot clock. From the very beginning, we said fouls were an issue for both squads. And that was a bailout foul. And it was off of a shot attempt as well. So who is at the line shooting some free throws? China doing an excellent job at capitalizing off of these free throws, shooting almost 86%. They have 24 points that have come from the free throw line. And who goes a perfect 3 of 3 from the line, bringing them up by 3 points. Xavier Cook's easy 2-pointer. And Australia really pushing pace here in this second half. China needs to find a way to set up their defense more quickly, find a body. And Zhu answering back, 2-point shot. But a defensive miscommunication from China. Ben Henshaw was wide open on the 3-point line, but missed, fortunately for China. China able to convert on that possession. Rui Zhao hitting a floater. Bodies on the floor. Things getting heated up. Just 1 minute, 30 seconds left in the third quarter. A tightly contested game. And actually very evenly matched. Australia has shot 5 of 16 from the 3-point range. China also 6 of 16, so they both have shot an even amount of 3-point shots. However, China just hitting one more than Australia. But these second chance points are becoming to be an issue for China. Australia dominating the boards. Australia has 27 rebounds, and those 27 rebounds have created second chance opportunities for them. So I mentioned at the half, the bigs of China are going to be crucial on the inside in securing those rebounds. That's Hu Jinkyu and Wang, who both dominated New Zealand actually when they won. They won the rebounding battle and really outscored New Zealand in the paint. So if they could replicate that here today, they could come away with this dub. China with a miss, Australia coming down. China doing a better job at getting back on defense to stop the fast break. Xavier Cook's now at the line after a personal foul on Chang. And China's kind of shooting themselves in the foot right now with these fouls. Luckily for China, Xavier Cooks missed both free throws. China has been lucky because Australia has not been able to convert off of these fouls at the line. That is 4 missed free throws for Australia in a row. Ooh. Huge 3-point shot. I believe that was Shang. Shot clock winding down. Just seconds left in the third quarter. Jalen Galloway, 3-point shot to answer back. And what a way to end the third quarter. 2 back-to-back threes. Jalen Galloway had an answer back for Chang of China. And the composure of Jalen Galloway, there was just seconds left on the clock. At the end of the third quarter, China leads 71-68. This fourth quarter will come down to composure because both of these teams are fighting tooth and nail right now. So composure and poise will be the name of the game. And again, China playing with a relatively young team in terms of experience. Only 3 players are equipped with prior Asia Cup experience. So I wonder if this will play a factor. But it has not played a factor so far because this crew has been nothing short of impressive thus far. And if you're Australia, you're trying to keep that unblemished FIBA Asia Cup record. They have not lost a game since 2017, which is when they joined the FIBA Asia Cup. Shout out to Mason Savage. Thanks for tuning in. He's rooting for China. Quite a few fans rooting for China today in the chat. Thanks for tuning in. The fourth quarter is almost underway. And if you're just now joining us, perfect time. Because again, this game has been tightly contested. China winning so far 71-68. So welcome to the chat party presented by Smart. Again, this just is the chat party. If you'd like to catch the game live, which I highly suggest you do, it's a great game. Tune into your local broadcast. In the Philippines, that's Filipinas Live, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. But if you're watching elsewhere, go to FIBA.basketball, and then at the Game Center, it will show you all your local networks where you can tune in. And we still have a whole nother quarter to be played, so it's not too late. Go find your local stream. And then also stay here and chat with me. What are your takes for this last quarter of this game? Who is going to come away the champions? And for those who are just now tuning in, just to provide some context of how close this game has been. Australia is shooting at 49% from the field, and China not far behind them at 45%. Both teams shooting 33 to 35% from the three-point range. The biggest difference here in this game today has been free throws. China shooting at 86% to Australia's 42%. So China doing an excellent job at converting. If Australia can start to knock down their free throws, that could be a game changer here. But Xavier Cook still being aggressive. Same intensity that he's brought since that second quarter. China now looking to keep this lead, leading only by 1 point. What a move by Hu. Putting his skills on display. Almost had me at a loss for words there. That was great defense from Australia, but better offense. And that's tough to guard a move like that from Hu. Xavier Cooks able to answer back with a huge dunk. Bringing Australia within 2. China with a crucial turnover. Xavier Cooks driving strong to the basket, drawing the foul on Zhu. But man, if you did not see that step back three-pointer from Hu, I suggest you go and find and look at the highlight reel later of this game. I think that might be one of the top plays of this tournament. Xavier Cooks at the line now. And that's just so smart by Xavier Cooks, just being aggressive, drawing the foul, and doing a good job at converting this time. Xavier Cooks makes both free throws, tying the game at 74 apiece. China coming up short off of that three-point shot of Wang. Australia continues to push the ball. China doing a better job at getting back on defense. But McVeigh, turnaround jumper. Like I said before, both teams playing good defense, just better offense being displayed. China getting a little bit razzled. But Rui Zhao, just when I thought he had nowhere to go, that composure. Excuse me, that was Chang. But Xavier Cooks, oh my goodness. Both teams just going basket for basket. Tough shot by Xavier Cooks. And Wang had nowhere to go on that post. Things are getting a little chippy. Xavier Cooks on the floor. A jump ball being called, but the refs stepping in to separate the players. Things are getting physical here. In these last 6 minutes of this game. Both teams, you could just see how hungry they are, how bad they want this championship to be crowned the FIBA Asia Cup 2025 champions. There have been 13 lead changes here in this game today, but China has maintained the lead for a majority of the game. Australia has only led for a total of 5 minutes. But Australia now leading 78-76. One thing Australia is doing extremely well is converting points off of the turnovers of China. They have 13 points off of turnovers. And then again, the fast break points. Australia has been thriving off of a fast-paced game. They have 16 points off of fast breaks. So a highly physical game. The refs are actually discussing that last scuffle where Xavier Cooks was on the ground. And then we had two players from China diving for the ball. And I think there's going to be a review on this. Xavier Cooks has been such a game changer here in this game today. He has 29 huge points. Jalen Galloway just behind him with 17 points. And then Jack McVeigh and William Hickey, 11 points apiece. On the side of China, it has been all Hu. 21 points from Hu. Shooting 4 of 5 from the 3-point range. So if you're China, you want to try and get Hu the ball. He's shooting at 80% from the 3-point range. So if he could get open looks from the arc, that could be big. Refs are still reviewing this scuffle. I believe they're looking to see if China was making a play for the ball. Because again, Xavier Cooks had possession on the ground. And the refs really taking their time with this official review because again, this game is winner takes all. And in that scuffle, it was Chang of China. I think that's who they are reviewing. It kind of looked like he might have hooked Xavier Cooks a bit. I'm not sure if that is what they are further looking into. They are reviewing because Xavier Cooks had possession of the ball. And then two players from China went for the ball. It was a loose ball. I believe that's what they were looking into, but Xavier Cooks already had possession. So Australia will maintain possession. The official review has been completed. Xavier Cooks with a miss. Composure will be the name of the game. China needs to be sure they play to their pace because Australia doing a good job at picking up the pace, setting the pace in this game. Great pass down low to Hu, using his size. Things getting very chippy here. A foul was called on Foxwell. Rui Zhao was going for the loose ball. Great hustle by Rui Zhao. China now with possession. You can see the defense of Australia really making China play a little faster paced. You could see they're not as composed as they were in the first half. With just 5 minutes left here in this ball game, tied at 78 apiece. And if you're just now tuning in, this is the chat party presented by Smart. And I highly suggest you go and try and find a local stream as well, because you do not want to miss this game. Oh my goodness. Who on the inside? What a time for him to step up and make his presence felt. I said it earlier, he could be a game changer from inside the paint. And 2 back-to-back points from him. But Jalen Galloway, another 3-point shot. Jalen Galloway, 4 of 7 from the 3-point range. But who answering back? Easy 2-point jumper. Jalen Galloway, oh my goodness. Another 3-point shot, 2 in a row for Jalen Galloway. China needs to find a way to stop him. Huge block. From Australia. The momentum is slowly shifting into their favor, but China fighting back. Australia now up by 2 points. Score is 84-82. Great defense there from China. China trailing by 2 points. Let's see if they could get something to go for them on this possession. And of course, who else would they go to than Jin Kyu Hu on the inside? That has been working for them. That's 6 straight points from Hu on the inside. Australia comes up short there. China with the possession now. 3 minutes left here in this game. Tied at 84. China coming up short there. Australia now back with possession. I mentioned it earlier, composure is going to be crucial here. Huge and one for Australia. Beautiful pass from Xavier Cooks. To the cutting William Hickey under the basket. And William Hickey heading to the line to shoot the extra point. And this is where Australia's experience can really be a factor. You could tell they're so composed. They're playing with poise. China a little bit frazzled, but they're still in this game, only down by 2 points. But Australia securing a second chance after William Hickey misses that free throw. Just 2 minutes left here in this game. 2 minutes until we find out who will be the FIBA Asia Cup 2025 champions. But who? 3-point shot made, keeping China or gaining China the 1-point lead. That's a huge shot. Both teams battling out. There's a loose ball. Jump ball is called. That was a huge shot from Min Hung Hu. Then down on the other end, off of that missed shot of Australia, all of the players just hungry for that ball. The Who's of this China squad have been putting this team on their back. They have been crucial. That could have been a big game changer. Meng Li had a 3-point shot there, missed. And if you're Australia, that was a defensive lapse. Meng Li was wide open. But Min Hung Hu fouling Australia on that fast break, trying to stop that transition offense, which they've been excelling at. Australia has been getting a lot of points in transition and off of fast break points. China leading by 1 point. 1 minute 20 left in this game. Australia now with possession. Missed 3-point shot from Australia. But William Hickey wide open under the basket. Gets that rebound and a basket made. Australia now leading by 1 point. Liao was playing a bit of a one-on-one game there, but came up short. Australia now with the ball, slowing things down. Up by 1 point, just 30 seconds left. 9 seconds on the shot clock. They're trying to use as much shot clock as they can. Excellent pass on the inside. Patience by Australia has been paying off. Will McGay, a foul was called. And that just shows the composure Australia has. Even though the shot clock was winding down, they waited until they saw the open McGay in the paint. So McGay is going to head to the line, but Australia has been struggling from the free throw. So let's see if McGay could come in clutch with these 2 free throws. He misses the first. And this is where free throws are super crucial. It's one of the easiest shots in the game, but also the hardest when it's under pressure. Will McGay knocks in one, goes 1 for 2 from the line. Australia up by 2 points. China takes a timeout to talk things through because there is just 24 seconds left here in this game. Armstrong Liu in the chat says he believes the ball should be in whose hands. And I have to highly agree with that. Who has been crucial and in this game today. And if you're a basketball fan, this is all you want from a championship game. Highly contested, close, both teams battling it out. And it has been nothing but entertaining since the jump ball at the very beginning. There has been 19 lead changes, and that is just how close this game has been. The biggest lead was 15 points from China, but Australia, being the dominant force they are, was able to fight back and fight their way back into this game. We have Vegas Knights hoping for overtime. That would be thrilling. Just 24 seconds left here. Let's see what China has come up with in this timeout. They are now inbounding the ball. Liao at the top of the key. Jalen Galloway guarding him. Going one-on-one, driving it, kicked it out to Meng Lee. But an air ball, that was a tough shot. But I think it was tipped, and that's why it came up short. See the players of China asking for a review of that shot. And the refs are now discussing a possible wraparound off of that rebound. Xavier Cooks had come down with that rebound. Came down strong, but looks like he wrapped around. But let's see if that was legal. Australia a little too aggressive there off of that defensive rebound. And now the refs, there's an official review underway. And I believe they're looking into Xavier Cooks, again, when he had that ball. And it was Rui Zhao who was guarding him. And Xavier Cooks had possession of the ball, and it's his left hand they're going to be looking at in the replay. Rui Zhao gets caught in Xavier Cooks' left wraparound here. And in the replay, you could definitely see his arm wrapped around. But great defense by Rui Zhao to be there as soon as Xavier Cooks had gained possession. Score is 89-87. Australia with the lead. The refs have come to a conclusion. Xavier Cooks is given an unsportsmanlike foul. So again, Rui Zhao was playing defense on Xavier Cooks. Xavier Cooks used his left arm to wrap around Rui's head. So he was given a flagrant or unsportsmanlike foul. But Xavier Cooks is also at the line shooting 2. He goes 2 of 2 at the line. But because of that unsportsmanlike foul, Rui Zhao will also be heading to the line. Xavier Cooks went 1 of 2 from the line. So Rui Zhao will now shoot the unsportsmanlike fouls. Rui Zhao makes the first. Score is now 90-88. Australia still leading. There's 3.9 seconds on the clock. Rui Zhao coming in clutch, making 2 free throws, making both free throws. And because of that unsportsmanlike foul, China will get the ball back. So they have possession here. They are going to inbound it. Ming Han-Hu, good 3-point shot, but comes up short, meaning Australia will be the FIBA AsiaCup 2025 champs, winning 90-89. What a game. If you're a basketball fan, that is definitely the championship game you wanted. Both teams battled out, left their hearts out on that court. And big kudos to China, who kept this game tightly contested against a much favored Australia. And free throws were in China's favor. They had 26 points from that free throw line. But ultimately, it was the composure of Australia and the poise. And this could be from their experience. Australia remains with a perfect record. They brought a 17-0 competition record into this final, now 18-0. And they are now the three-peat champions of the FIBA Asia Cup. And what a game. China just falling by 1 point. But for Australia, you have to give credit to Xavier Cooks. Had 30 huge points, 9 rebounds, shot 76% from the field. And then we can't fail to mention Jalen Galloway, 23 points, had huge 3-point shots. He shot 60% from the field. And on the end of China, Ming Han-Hu was carrying the team on his back, and same with Jin-Kyu Hu as well. So again, Australia is your FIBA Asia Cup 2025 champions. They are the three-peat champions as they defeat China 90-89. So I just want to say thank you everyone for joining us on the chat party presented by Smart. Again, my name is Melissa Newsom and I had so much fun covering this championship game, and we can't wait to see you again in 4 years. Great job to both teams, and congrats to Australia for being your FIBA Asia Cup 2025 champions. that'll do it for us today. Take care, everyone, and rest up or have a good day wherever you are.